Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Mental illness is so common now that today 1 in 5 adults in our country experiences mental illness in a year, and about 1 in 25 have a serious problem that interferes with their daily life. A lot of young people also struggle, including our next guest, who is here to share a very personal battle with both depression and anxiety. Tyler Lucas is a college student and an intern at NAMI Greater Milwaukee. NAMI stands for the National Alliance on Mental Illness. He is here today along with Susan Schoenmarkland, who is the manager for this year's NAMI Walk. And we'll have details about that walk coming up in just a little bit because it's coming up in May. It's on the 18th. I'm going to be there. I've been there the last couple of years, and I'm looking forward to it. Yes, as the MC and introducing all the great fundraisers. Wonderful to see you both. Thank you so much for being here. Tyler, I read a speech that you gave. Was it about a month ago that you shared this speech?
Yes, about a month ago at the kickoff luncheon for the NAMI Walk.
That is, so your story is so interesting. I think it's going to be really touching to especially parents, and I appreciate you sharing it because it's very personal. So thank you so much for doing that. Talk through a few of the bullet points. At what age did you first think, hey, there might be a problem or I might have a mental illness?
I first kind of had my struggle with mental illness when I first started college. That was back in 2012. I went to Wake Forest University and I had some problems there that I never had before.
I mean, you had to be thrilled to get into Wake Forest.
Oh, absolutely. It was my dream school. I was super excited, but I didn't expect the mental illness to catch up with me at school.
And what were you diagnosed with? Was that as a freshman?
Yes, I was originally diagnosed with depression, but my diagnosis changed to bipolar over time.
Okay, and you took medication,
yes,
correct?
Yes.
At what point was school just too much for you and you decided you needed to leave Wake Forest?
It was actually the first semester I was there. I just got overwhelmed by the social life, the drinking, and everything with school. So a couple months in, I actually had to leave and go back home and learn more about how I could better myself with the depression and learn coping skills and
to manage it.
Exactly.
Right, and see a therapist. At one point you decided to go back to Wake Forest and give it another try.
Yes.
Right, and again you struggled
yes.
and went back home.
That time it was kind of on the opposite spectrum because I was experiencing mania, which I didn't realize until I looked back on it and saw that, I was talking really fast all the time. I wasn't sleeping much, so a lot of symptoms of mania were very prevalent during that time.
So you came back home, and then at a certain point you decided to go to Marquette. So you went to school closer to home, and you decided to study psychology,
yes.
right?
Yes.
And how's that been going for you? Because I understand you have just one semester left.
Yes, I only have one semester. I love psychology. I'm actually planning on continuing on to grad school for nursing, and I'd like to become a behavioral health nurse.
Good for you. We've met behavioral health nurses here on the show, and I admire what they do so much because it's difficult, but I think with your background, you'd be so great at that. And it's admirable that you stuck with your education. One other massive setback that you had was in 2018, so very recently, in spring of that year, you lost your mom to suicide.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. It was a shock to me. I remember the day very clearly. It was just absolutely heartbreaking. So I still miss her a lot.
I bet. But you're managing your mental illness. I know you see a therapist. You're in school. Are you feeling better? I know that's the grieving process is not quick, but are you feeling better now?
Yes, I feel a lot better. I'm more secure with what happened. I know she's in a much better place now. I know she was struggling and suffering very deeply, so I know she's in a much better place, which gives me a sense of security.
Good for you. Susan, it was so great that you got in touch with me and wanted to share Tyler's incredible story.
It's amazing what he's been through and come out on the other side. I think he's really an inspiration to young people who are struggling.
And now he works with you at NAMI, so he helps other people with mental illness.
And he's supporting us on the walk.
That's fantastic. So why do you do this walk? A lot of people will know about it because it happens nationwide. It's not just Milwaukee that has a NAMI walk.
There's about 89 walks nationally, and We do this walk. It is for two reasons. It's to raise awareness of the stigma of mental illness, and also it is to raise funds for NAMI. All our programming is free. We have free classes for people with mental illness and their families, and we have trainings we do for like security staff. Recently we did a training to help them understand how to deal with people with mental illness. So we do great work, and the walk supports 40% of our budget. So it's really important.
This is a
to
big
us.
fundraiser, and
Yeah.
important for people to support it. I got to say, a lot of years there I am. It's cold, okay, because
Yeah.
it's in May. Hopefully we'll have better weather this year. But it's a wonderful time to get out and support other people. A lot of people walk despite the weather. Check it out. You can see we're doing a little stretching
Little
before the
yoga.
walk to get all warmed up. There's a band there, and it's really a lot of fun, and I appreciate being a part of it. Just really quickly, Susan, do you feel that when people like Tyler, who's young, he's good looking, he's smart, he's having success in school, he's in treatment, and do you feel like that does a lot to help reduce the stigma of mental illness?
It's wonderful that he's speaking out because he gives other people hope. And part of the walk is coming out of the closet and being in community and seeing how talking about it really does help us break down the stigma. So we're so glad for Tyler.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing your story. I appreciate it so much. And thank you, Susan, for being here. Please come out and join me on Saturday, May 18th. There are a lot of great people. 11 a.m. is the start time, and registration's 9:30. There's a phone number, and you can go to the website, too, to find out more, register a team, and to donate. Thanks to all of you. Appreciate it. We'll be right back.